Hello everyone, and welcome to the Charles Murray Show, episode number 18. Today's show is going to be a lot different. Well, first of all, how are y'all guys doing? How are you all doing? Today's show is going to be different. I don't have a script prepared for today. I didn't have time to make a script for this show because I had a lot of work to do this week. The last 3 nights I had to make a marketing presentation and write 2 5 to 7 page movie reviews, so I really didn't have time to write a script. But we still have a good show today. I do know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the normal. First, we'll start off with sports. You know, I'll do the regular Friday day where I'll give my picks. But I'm going to take sports into a different direction today because the season is more than halfway over. And people have been asking me, who's my Super Bowl prediction? Who do I think the best teams are? Who I think the best players are? So I'm going to answer all those questions today. I'm going to give my best players. And then at 3 players per position, except for defensive end, because I only had 1 player that's the best defensive end in the league. And I'm not even putting nobody else there with him. And then I'll get my top 5 teams in the league and then my Super Bowl prediction as of right now. That will most likely change as the season goes on. So first we're going to talk about sports. And I got some hot topics for y'all. We're going to recap the election from Tuesday night. Somebody's running. Somebody has announced already. One Republican has already announced that he's running for president. And some other things and hot topics. Then we'll go back to inspiration from Monday, which was our weekly assignment was get happy and stay happy. And we got to recap that. And we're going to listen to Happy again because I like that song. And it's my choice and I'm going to listen to it anyway. So, let's start the show. Here we go. Starting off with sports, there is no Eagles talk today because the Eagles will not play until Monday. So, Monday night is when we'll have our Eagles talk. I can't wait for that. It's a Monday night game. I love Monday night football. Alright, so I'm going to do my season overview so far. And the first thing is, the biggest surprise team of the year. And I'm going to have to say that's the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I knew they were a decent football team. I didn't know they were, great. Like, this team, yeah, they had a couple of games you could say they won. Were kind of by luck. I say the Eagles game was by luck, but I'm an Eagles fan, so. But they are, this team is firing off on all 4 cylinders. Special teams is playing good for them. Defense is playing lights out. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher yet this year. The rest of the offense is playing good for them. So I think the Arizona Cardinals are my biggest surprise team. And the biggest disappointment team this year, I'll have to say, stay in that same division. I'm going to have to say the San Francisco 49ers. Honestly, coming off the NFC Championship the last 3 years straight, I expected more from them. I didn't expect them to be, I think they're 4-4 right now. I didn't expect their record to be so bad. And my dad's a 49ers fan, and he'll say, oh, well, we beat the Eagles, but we're sitting pretty at 6-2. You guys are sitting bad at 4-4. And you might lose this week against the Saints. So that's not really that great. So I'm going to move on to my Super Bowl prediction. And based on by these 2 teams, and like I said before, this will change more than likely. Based on the way that these 2 teams have been playing so far, I'm going to send Arizona and New England to the Super Bowl. And I have Arizona winning that because they can get to the quarterback, and Tom Brady's offensive line is not that great, even though Tom Brady is the best in the league. His line isn't that great, and no team blitzes more than the Arizona Cardinals. So if they get to Tom Brady, early, and rattle his mind, because he can be rattled like every other quarterback, it'll be a blowout not a blowout, but it'll be a win for the Cardinals in the Super Bowl. That's what it is right now, and that's how I see it. I'm going to move on to my top 5 teams in the NFL right now, starting with number 5. I had the Pittsburgh Steelers. I put the Pittsburgh Steelers there, and they could have actually easily been my Super Bowl prediction too, because this team is playing lights out football right now. The last 2 weeks, like I said on Monday show, Ben Roethlisberger has thrown 12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. No quarterback in NFL history has done that. It looks like their defense is finally coming along. Dick LeBeau is doing an awesome job with the defense. They brought back James Harrison about 2 weeks ago. He was just sitting on the couch, or 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was just sitting on the couch, and now this man's causing havoc to all the other teams that they're playing. He's still a beast after being retired for a couple months. Not even a couple months, just probably about a month. He's still a beast, and he's helping that Pittsburgh Steelers defense out. On number 14, the Denver Broncos. After last week, they showed they were blown out by the Patriots, 43-21. They showed that they were exposed last week, and they showed that they aren't that great. I know I said the Patriots are one of the best teams in the league, but the Broncos have the quarterback that most people say is the best quarterback in the league, which I say he's not. And they didn't do that great on Sunday. I mean, they didn't look great at all. They looked horrible, honestly. Only scored 21 points against the Patriots defense is number 2 versus the pass, and that could have had a lot to do with it. But that was a good game for the Patriots, bad game for the Broncos. Number 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though the Eagles just lost Nick Foles, more than likely for the rest of the season, he'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks. They're good. I like to say they're 2 quarterback sneaks away from being 8-0. I mean, they're at the 1 yard line twice against 2 opponents, and they don't score a touchdown because the coach calls a questionable play. But say he calls a quarterback sneak, and we take that 6'6" quarterback straight up the middle. The Eagles beat the 49ers, and they beat the Cardinals, I'm pretty sure. And they're sitting pretty with the best record in the league at 8-0. But it's not the NFL, it's the NFL, and they're not. Number 2 is the New England Patriots. I remember, I don't know what week it was. Was it week 2 or 3? When they played the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid and the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, and everyone was ready to give up on them. And I was like, no, you can't give up on Tom Brady. He's the best quarterback in the league. The offensive line will do something to give him enough time to beat Tom Brady. And that's what they've been doing. I mean, they're on like a 5-game winning streak now. They haven't lost since that Kansas City game. They went from that Kansas City game, and then they blew out. Actually, 3 of those 5, I want to say actually 5 of those 5 games that they won straight were just one-sided games. Like, they dominated their competition. Had a lot to do with Bill Belichick coaching up that defense, then that offensive line getting together, which everybody said was questioning Bill Belichick when he decided to trade their best offensive lineman down to Tampa Bay. And look what happened. After he did that, it was like, why would you do this? Because now Tom Brady doesn't have time. It's looking like he should retire. It doesn't look good at the beginning of the season. He said he'll keep playing until he doesn't look good anymore. Well, he didn't look good at the beginning of the season. I thought he was going to retire. But then I had to say, it's Tom Brady. Give him a break. Let him get settled with these receivers. Him and the receivers are working together now. They're on fire. As much as I hate to say it, even though I love to see Tom Brady play football because he's such a great quarterback. I don't like him. I don't want him to win a Super Bowl, but the way they're playing, I hate to say it, if they keep up this play, they'll be there. If they continue to dominate the way that they are dominating, that Super Bowl between them and the Cardinals will be amazing. Because the way it's going right now, that's going to be the 2 teams in the Super Bowl. Moving on to number 1, I got the Arizona Cardinals. Look, Bruce Arians is doing a great job coaching this team. I mean, they're sitting at 7-1 with the NFL's best record. They only lost to the Broncos, who are a totally bad team. They lost to the Broncos with a backup quarterback. They're 7-1 with, I think Carson Palmer missed like 3 games. 7-1 while having a backup quarterback. And Carson Palmer, I don't know, he's looking like USC Carson Palmer again, because this man is on fire. He isn't making many mistakes. He's only thrown somewhere between 2 and 4 interceptions this year. Last week was his 2nd or 4th one. So he's not turning the ball over. He's making plays when they need to be made. Lord. Making plays when they need to be made. So I don't see anybody beating this team. And Todd Bowles and that defense is playing lights out. Number 1 running defense. Now, what will get the Cardinals in trouble is that their pass defense isn't that great. But something that'll help them with that is teams doing what Jason Garrett and the Cowboys did last week and what Chip Kelly and the Eagles did the week before. And that's looking at that stat of their passing defense not being great and passing the ball instead of being balanced. And that's going to help the Cardinals win games because once you're one-dimensional, it's easy for the defense to make the adjustments needed to help their team win. They'll get better against the pass sooner than later. I mean, Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu playing some exceptional football right now out there at the safety position. He's like back to LSU Honey Badger, so that's nice. Patrick Peterson was hurt, but he'll get better during the season because he's one of the best corners in the league. Then you have, who else is back there? Antonio Cromartie over there, who's playing really good football. I mean, he caught 3 picks in the last 2 weeks. 2 of those picks came from Nick Foles. One from Brandon Weeden, but he's playing good football right now. They're playing some really good football. And then there's safety, who I still say the Eagles should have drafted in the first round. Deone Bucannon, however you pronounce his name. He's playing pretty good back there in the secondary. So, you can say what you want that the Cardinals are overrated. I just don't think so. Now I'm going to move on to my top 3 players at each position. And for defensive end, kicker, and punter, I'm just going to name one. Should I start with offense or defense? I'm thinking I should start with, what's this called? Defense. Offense. Offense. Alright, so I'm going to start with center. Even though this guy hasn't played that well, you will see the difference. And first, let me just say Travis Frederick has turned out to be one of the best centers in the league. And then I have Travis Frederick of the Dallas Cowboys, who's been really good the last 2 years. That was actually probably the best pick that Jerry Jones had in the last couple of years. The smartest pick, even though everybody thought he could get him in the 3rd round. But he took the chance on him in the 1st round, and it's turning out to be a great move by him. Then we got Matt Kalil. One of the Kalil brothers. The one down in Carolina, I think it's Ryan. He's a pretty good center too, even though the rest of the Panthers' offensive line is like crazy and they can't block. He's holding them together. And I have Jason Kelce. He hasn't played that much this year, but him being there to be the center for the Philadelphia Eagles will help that running game out a lot. Trust me, that boy can run block his behind off. He'll help the screen game too, because no center can get out there, set the edge, and block like Jason Kelce can. No, none of them. I'll put that. No, nobody. It's not even worth arguing. Another great pick by Jerry Jones. I'm moving on to the guards now. Top 3 guards. Zach Martin by the Dallas Cowboys. Another great pick for Jerry Jones. He wanted to. I want to give his son Stephen Jones the credit. Jerry actually wanted Johnny Man's old man's crazy. And Zach Martin next to Travis Frederick is like. And they got Tyron Smith out there, who I have Tyron Smith on my list too. Zach Martin's playing some great football. Great run blocker, great pass blocker. He's helping DeMarco Murray have the great season that he's having. Mike Iupati helping Frank Gore out there in San Francisco. He's been one of the best for the last couple of years. That was a good pick for the 49ers 6 years ago. And Andy Levitre, even though the Titans, or Levitre, even though the Titans aren't playing that well, he's actually playing some really good football. He's blocking, doing his job, getting out there, busting his behind. Even though the Titans hasn't come together for them as a team, he's been playing really well. For my tackles, of course, I have the best tackle in the league, Jason Peters, right there. He's number 1. I don't even have to go into that. He's the best tackle in the league, even though he's the reason why Nick Foles is hurt right now because he didn't block Whitney Merciless. Joe Staley out there in San Francisco, him and Iupati next to each other is a real good team. And Tyron Smith for the Dallas Cowboys. Great pass blocker for Tony Romo. I think he's the blind side blocker for Tony Romo. He's doing a really good job. No, Romo throws with this. Wait a minute. Yeah. Left tackle is the blind side for the right tackle. Yeah. I mean, the right-hand quarterback. So, yeah. Tight ends, I have Julius Thomas, who was having a good year, but he only caught the ball twice last week. Jimmy Graham, who's the best receiving tight end in the league. He can't block, but for the Saints, he's the best receiving tight end in the league. And then for tight end, I have Rob Gronkowski. He can do it all. Receive, block, anything he's needed to do. Did you see the one-hand bionic arm catch that he had last week against the Broncos? I may have to get that play for you guys, so just so you can see how great it was. Moving on to the wide receiver position, I have who I think is the best receiver in the league right now. Dez Bryant. I know this is going to surprise people, but even though he's been dropping passes left and right the last 2 weeks, he's actually a really good receiver. Sorry. Antonio Brown is actually leading the league. I think he's leading the league in reception yards right now. Having a lights out year for the Steelers. They really needed that. He's part of the reason they're so successful. And Demaryius Bebe Thomas. He's also having a good year for Peyton Manning and the Broncos, as he did last year. I think him and Peyton Manning for the next year or two be a good combination together because he's the leader of the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen, for you who don't know, is Wes Welker, Emmanuel Sanders, Julius Thomas, and Demaryius Thomas. Top 3 running backs in the league. The league's leading rusher, of course, for the Dallas Cowboys, DeMarco Murray, having a lights out year. Look at him. All games except for one, he's at 100 yards in them. That was last week to the Cardinals, who they haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher yet this year. So, doing pretty good. I mean, I don't know if he's still on pace to break the single-season rushing record. He's definitely going to have about 1,800 or more yards this year, unless he gets injured, which I hope he doesn't. LaShawn McCoy, when he's given a chance to run the ball, and that's a big win because Chip Kelly does not run the ball like he should run the ball. When he runs the ball like he's supposed to run the ball, LaShawn McCoy is the best thing. Is the best back in the league. I don't care what anybody says. Then we have Le'Veon Bell. He's bringing back Pittsburgh Steelers football, that smash mouth running game that the Pittsburgh Steelers have always had. DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy, and Le'Veon Bell. The quarterbacks, I'm not going to go into depth. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Aaron Rodgers. For defense, strong safety, I got Eric Berry, Kenny Vaccaro, and Cam Chancellor. Free safety, Earl Thomas and Eric Weddle. I don't have a third person for that. Cornerback, Joe Hayden, Richard Sherman, Darrelle Revis. Inside linebacker, Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, NaVorro Bowman, and Patrick Willis. I know NaVorro Bowman hasn't played yet this year, but before he got hurt, he was the best in the league. Outside linebacker, Justin Houston with the Chiefs, Terrell Suggs, and Von Miller. All of them are really good. Defensive tackle, the best run stopper, clogger in the league, Vince Wilfork, along with Justin Smith for the 49ers and Ndamukong Suh of the Detroit Lions. And for defensive end, J.J. Watt, and J.J. Watt, the best in the league. Alright, I'm going to move on to my picks this week. Baltimore versus Tennessee, I got Baltimore. Kansas City versus Buffalo, I got Kansas City. Miami at Detroit, I got Detroit. Dallas versus Jacksonville. And London, I have Dallas. I have New Orleans over San Francisco. Pittsburgh over New York Jets. Atlanta over Tampa Bay. Denver over Oakland. Arizona over St. Louis. Seattle over New York. The Giants. And Green Bay over Chicago. Can't read my own handwriting. This is why I have a script. All right. Alright, moving on to hot topics, everybody. We got a new Pennsylvania governor. Tom Wolf has defeated the other guy. He's a distant memory now. I don't even know who he is. This guy who lost on Tuesday is the first Pennsylvania governor of the modern era to not win re-election. He sucks. That's how bad he was. He didn't even win re-election. Everybody else, it's almost a given that you'll win re-election as Pennsylvania governor. But he was that bad, he did it. The Republicans also took full control of Congress on Tuesday night. What that means is Barack Obama isn't going to get anything done for the rest of the year. And I'm not mad at Pennsylvanians, but everybody else who didn't get out there and vote, and the turnout was, for the general election, it was 60%. Turnout for this very important midterm election was 40%. Awful. The first Republican to throw their hat into the 2016 presidential campaign race is Dr. Ben Carson. Stevie Wonder is expecting a child with his new wife. There were rumors that they were expecting triplets, Well, on The View the other day, Stevie Wonder confirmed that there's only one child that they're expecting. Leah still made it to her very first Cincinnati Bengals game yesterday when she got to see her dad. Even though the Bengals lost to the Browns, it was amazing. She got to come down onto the field. They presented a check for $1.3 million to kids with cancer. And she got to see her dad, which was amazing. She got to see him play live for the first time. She just had her 75 Steel jersey on. She was nice up in the press box with her her grandma. And it was real nice. I have a video of that for you guys. Adrian Peterson has been let go. He's been off the hook. 2 years probation and 80 hours of community service. He will be back in the league probably within the next 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure of it. Ray Rice has started his appeal. The NFL is hearing his appeal. And he'll probably be reinstated into the league before the season is over. Toy Story 4 is going to be released in June of 2017. That means I'm going to go see that as a graduation present. I graduated in 2017. Okay. Moving on to inspiration. Monday's show, we got happy. The weekly assignment was to get happy and stay happy. Have you all done that? I had one goal last week. And my one goal was to make sure everybody had a great week this week. And let me tell you, my week, this has probably been one of the best weeks I've had. After coming off a week that I thought was my worst week of them all, I just went into this week with a positive attitude. I went to the song happy every single day to start my day. To make sure that I remembered my weekly assignment which was to get happy and stay happy. I had to be positive. I didn't let any negative light come into me. Any negative thoughts come from my mind. I just stayed positive, and this week was great. And this week could have easily been a bad week for me because I had a whole bunch of schoolwork piled up to do. I didn't let that get me down. I made sure I stayed positive, made sure everything went right, and I got all my work done. I had a great week this week. How did your week go? Let me know. We don't have that much inspiration today because... How did your week go? Let me know. I want to hear. I hope you had a good week. Help me achieve my goal, and let me help you achieve your goal. Because we all had one goal, and that was to have a great week this week. And I think we all should have. And that's our show for today. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. See you later, everybody. Visit me at charlesmerlin.weekly.com. And let me know how your weekend went. And let me know what you thought of this show. Come on and visit me. I want to hear from you. Have a great weekend, everybody.